Well, Mario over here. Obviously, it's been a little bit since we last saw you in here, but now you're matched up with a legend like Jose Aldo. So I guess how's camp been? How's just the media attention surrounding you? Because I would imagine fighting someone of Aldo's like stature and pedigree in this sport kind of leads to more attention and eyeballs on your fights.
Yeah, it's been a good camp. I wouldn't say there's been a lot more attention on me, and I'm not too sure because like first this fight was going to be on the prelims too, so like, I was thinking it's Jose Aldo, we're going to be on the main card right off the bat, but that wasn't the case. But other than that, it just feels like a normal camp to me, as far as like the media goes. So it's just been a normal thing.
Were you hoping to be on the main card at first, and were you disappointed when you were on the prelims?
No, I wasn't disappointed. I was just happy with the fact that we got Jose Aldo, so I was good with that. But I was thinking more on the UFC side, like why isn't he on the main card? So, because I know he's the main guy in this fight. He has all that following and everything. So I was pretty surprised.
And like you said, you were happy with Aldo. Was it the name? Was it the matchup? Was it the rankings? Was it just all of the above? Like, why specifically Jose Aldo? Because you were supposed to fight Cody, didn't work out. That probably should have been a big boost to your stock. But now you're getting Aldo, who's probably an even bigger superstar in this sport.
Yeah. I was supposed to fight Cody. I won my last fight, and I called out Rob Font, and that wasn't going on. And my last fight was in January, and it was getting to the point where I was like, I'll get anyone outside the top 15. I don't care. I just need a fight. So when I got Jose Aldo, I was pretty excited, pretty happy, ranked, and UFC legend.
When Jonathan Martinez got that matchup, he kind of had to ask again. He's like, "Are you sure it's Jose, like the Jose Aldo that wants to fight me?" Were you surprised that they matched you up with Jose Aldo? Because I think when Aldo came back, there were talks that he could fight for the title in a number one contender fight, and then he's matched up with you, which people are really excited. But you probably weren't on the short list of names that for possible matchups for him.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised, that he's taking on like these young guys. You would think he'd come back and fight, someone like at his age, caliber, or a following, maybe like a Henry Cejudo or something like that. But props to him, he's willing to take the risk.
And I think I saw something that you said you actually studied Aldo when for the Ricky Simone fight and everything, just for his takedown defense and everything. So did you take anything away from that study session that you want to implement in this fight?
Against him. No, I mean I understand that Aldo's hard to take down, and that's something that we know going into this camp. But yeah, I was gonna fight Ricky. I looked up all these guys that had great takedown defense, and Aldo was one of them. So I try to emulate some stuff from that.
And you strike me as a guy that doesn't really focus on the outside noise, because I think you even said like you would do this even if it was in an empty warehouse. You just kind of like fighting, but beating a guy like Jose Aldo, like that's main events, that's title contentions, that's number one contender fights. Have you thought about life would be like in terms of just outside of the fighting? You might have to be pulled in a lot of different directions with a win over Jose Aldo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have to just be myself, and I'm just like a homebody. I just kind of stay at home. I kind of decline some things. I don't know if it's good or not, but it just keeps my peace of mind. Keeps me just focused on training, and that's what I love to do: just train, fight, and But if it comes and if it's right up my alley, I'll do it.
It's like you, Sean, Kyler, like you're all like these high-level bantamweights, but you all just seem so different from one another. Like Sean gravitates towards the spotlight, and Kyler seems like pretty mellowed and chill out. You're a homebody, so I guess what's it like in the gym when you guys are just all together and just three just elite bantamweights that are just so different outside of the octagon?
Yeah, I would say back in the day when we were all there together all the time, it was fun, man. Just watching each other grow, taking these pro fights, just trying to follow each other, trying to keep up with each other, and we're doing that till this day, and it's crazy. We showed up to the MMA lab as kids, amateurs, and now we're in the top 15, and we got more guys coming too.
Did you guys all know that at some point you guys would all be here in this top 15 of the UFC even way back then?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. We always had talks about Ultimate Fighter. We'll do the Ultimate Fighter, contenders. We're going to fight these guys. So for it to come to fruition, it's pretty crazy once I look back at it.
You wanted to do the Ultimate Fighter? You don't strike me like a guy that would want to be in a house with a bunch of guys that whole time.
No. Any way to get in, the Ultimate Fighter. We even said the Contender Series, too, once that came about. So yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to get your thoughts on the main event between Pereira and Roundtree, like a prediction.
I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, they are both dangerous, and Roundtree could, you know, shock us all. But I think Alex is doing what he's supposed to do, and I think he's going to be fully prepared for this fight. But anything can happen for sure.
You said in an interview a couple weeks ago that you're not going to get starstruck at all by Jose Aldo. Was there ever a moment in your career where maybe you met someone or you faced someone in the room where you realized all these guys are just fighters like me, and so I'm never going to get starstruck by anyone I face across the octagon?
Yeah, luckily the gym I train at, you know, I trained with Sean before, with Benson for the past 10 years. You know, you go against Benson, he's a 55er, you know, and he's not taking it easy on you. So, you know, I never really had that feeling like about, you know, I don't know, famous people, I guess I should say, you know. I just know they're normal people, everyday lives, and that's about it, you know. And we're all fighters, we all bleed, and that's it.
Mario, right over here. Right now you're on a 6-fight win streak, and things seem to be clicking more than ever for you right now. Do you believe that in this point in your career you may have hit a new stride?
I'm on the stride, you know. I think everything is coming together. You know, I'm 31 years old. I think it's like all those hard rounds I've done in my 20s, everything I learned now coming with like my smarts of how to use it. I'm in my prime right now, so I'm ready to go. And
back a couple weeks ago during the camp, you made a post on Instagram. It was captioned by "Time for us to get a crown," and I thought that was a clever, you know, caption. A win over Jose Aldo, having that feather in that cap, what would that mean to you? But also, what do you believe that win would do for you at this stage of your career?
It would definitely move me into the top 10, top 5 possibly, you know. And, you know, as a fighter, you always want these fights, you know, these Hall of Famers or someone that's been around, you know, the game for a while, just to test yourself against them. So I know he's not in his prime, but that doesn't matter. It's just the name, and it's something that I've always looked forward to.
Thank you.
Mario, I know you're from here out west, and so I just wanted to get kind of your impressions of Utah training out here and just kind of what your overall feel is for, I don't know if you've been able to feel anything of like the fight community or anything like that, but just what do you think of Utah?
I got here Sunday. I think we went to the mall. Everything was closed. We asked the security guard, like, hey, what's going on? He's like, it's closed. It's Sunday. And we're like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's a Mormon community out here. But I love it out here. It reminds me of my hometown, you know, same kind of climate, weather, surrounding areas. So I feel like at home here.
Do you feel like that could give you a little bit of maybe a kind of a tactical advantage in some ways, just being familiar with the Western United States? And you mentioned it kind of reminds you of your hometown, that kind of thing. Does that give you a little bit more sort of peace of mind heading into Saturday?
Oh, well, I'm sure. You know, I go around here. Everything looks familiar. People are kind of like the same. Like, you know what to eat and this and that. So I'm sure just being out of the country, it's a little bit harder for you. So.